Dennis Tinerino was one of the bodybuilders with the best lines of the golden era, both in aesthetics and conditioning. Winner of Mr. America in 1967 and four-time Mr. Universe. His life is truly a movie-worthy story, filled with highs and lows. From his victories on stage to his time in prison, he narrowly escaped death several times throughout his tumultuous life. Join us on this inspiring journey through the life of Dennis Tinerino, a true bodybuilding legend. Dennis Tinerino was born in Brooklyn on December 23, 1945, into a humble Italian-American family. At the age of 12, he was so skinny that he said he could dodge raindrops. His first introduction to bodybuilding came through the world-famous television show of Jack LaLanne. He watched the program as often as possible. He recalls how during the summer months, he and his friend Stanley Schuster would keep their eyes glued to the TV screen, exercising together and watching Jack LaLanne correctly perform calisthenics. Eventually, he bought a set of 5-pound weights, becoming more interested than ever in developing a better physique. Seeking ways to improve, he one day saw a magazine with a giant man on the cover striking a sidearm pose. He immediately bought the magazine. The name of the giant on the cover was Bill Pearl. Through the knowledge he gained from this great magazine, he became familiar with terms like repetitions and sets. Writing a routine for his friend and himself, they began training 3 times a week with the 200 pounds of weights they had gathered. By the age of 14, he had a 13-inch arm, a 42-inch chest, and weighed 140 pounds. Eventually, his father, a former boxer and Golden Gloves competitor in the 40s, suggested he try Brooklyn Central, where he himself trained to stay in shape. The equipment was good enough, and all he needed was energy and a will to train. Unfortunately, Dennis had plenty of both. At that time, he was 16 years old and had the following measurements: 41 centimeter arms, 109 centimeters chest, 74 centimeter waist, and weighed 80 kilos at 1.75 meters tall. After graduating from high school, he worked at Olympic Radio and TV, where he met Tom Sansone, along with Joe Abenda, Mr. America and Mr. Universe, and Bill Pearl. With their advice, Dennis took his body to the next level in development and training. Inspired by magazines and the physiques of actors like Steve Reeves and Reg Park, whom he saw in movies, he began to crave becoming a champion. A job change brought him closer to Joe's house, who invited him to train regularly with him, which made them great friends. They trained for about 2 hours, 5 times a week after work. As a teenager, he won numerous Teen Mr. America and Mr. USA contests, as well as several state titles between 1964 and 1966. In 1967 in London, he won Mr. America, both in the overall and junior categories, finishing second to Arnold in Mr. Universe by only half a point. At just 21 years old, he became the youngest Mr. America at that time. In his own words, winning the title of Mr. America is the culmination of all my efforts over the past 6 years. To some people, this may not seem like a great achievement, but to me, it's a dream come true. Those close to me who have helped me in some way during my quest to win the Mr. America crown know how much I wanted it. The following year, he won Mr. Universe, allowing him to travel the world and meet influential people like oil magnate John Paul Getty. Getty was impressed by Dennis's physique and dedication, supporting his career by helping him secure contracts and media appearances. This relationship was crucial in expanding Dennis's influence and fame beyond bodybuilding. In 1969, he played Atlas in Arnold's debut film, Hercules, in New York. During this time, he appeared in countless magazines such as Muscle and Fitness, Iron Man, and in numerous television commercials. Early in his career, Dennis was natural and won numerous titles without using anabolic steroids, earning him the Natural Mr. America title. However, by the time he turned professional around age 22, he began using them, realizing that all his competitors were doing the same. Dennis said, "I wanted to win other titles, and most of the athletes I competed against were taking anabolic steroids. At some point, I found myself trapped in that vicious cycle." He trained at Vince's gym for his 1976 Mr. Universe competition, confessing that he learned more about nutrition and training from Vince Gironda than from anyone else in the world, except perhaps his mentor, Bill Pearl. One of his most notable moments was at the 1977 Mr. Olympia competition, where he placed third in his category behind Robbie Robinson and Ken Waller. This achievement is significant given the high level of competition and the presence of other great bodybuilders of the time, like Frank Zane, who won that year. Tinerino arrived at the competition in excellent shape, showcasing a balanced muscular development and notable definition that impressed the judges and the audience. The fact that he competed against some of the best bodybuilders of the era and achieved third place highlights the quality of his physique and his presentation on stage, helping cement his reputation as one of the most respected bodybuilders of his time. Although he never won Mr. Olympia, Dennis Tinerino left a lasting mark on the bodybuilding world with his performances and achievements in other major competitions, such as Mr. Universe and Mr. America. After achieving success in bodybuilding, Dennis Tinerino sought to increase his fame and fortune, leading him to become involved in illegal activities outside the sporting realm. He delved into the world of gambling and betting, which eventually led to him being investigated, charged, tried, and finally convicted and imprisoned. His arrest and conviction were a significant blow to his reputation, but also served as a turning point in his life. After serving his sentence, Tinerino experienced a personal and spiritual transformation, becoming a Christian minister and dedicating his life to helping others find a better path. He devoted his efforts to sharing his testimony of redemption and faith. He used his fame to help others find a more positive and spiritually fulfilling life. Through his ministry, Tinerino impacted many people by sharing how his faith had been fundamental in his rehabilitation process and how he found renewed purpose after the challenges he faced in the past. Like other muscle warriors, he fought cancer in the final years of his life. He passed away on Friday, May 7, 2010, at the age of just 65. Dennis Tinerino was one of the most prominent American bodybuilders of the 1960s and 1970s. He won the Mr. Universe title 4 times in 1968, 1975, 1980, and 1981. Mr. World in 1971 in the tall man's category, and Mr. America in 1978. He will always hold a place in the hearts of iron lovers.